Hello there everyone, and welcome to another edition of Lydia's Crafty Corner with me, Lydia, in my little crafty corner. So this is the card that we are going to be creating today. Now this is inspired by the new challenge over at Altenew, which is the September Inspiration Challenge. So I will be hosting it this month, and this is the little inspiration photo we have here. So you can take the colours from it or anything that you can see in that picture. So I'm inspired by both the flowers, the little butterfly, and the colours. So the flowers that I am going to be using are the Japanese mum builder flower, because I think that this flower looks very much like the one in the photo. So I'm going to stamp this one up first. Now I am using the obsidian for the outline, and then for the colours, to get the colour that we have in the inspiration photo, I'm going to go with the beautiful pink pearl for the base layer. Now I'm just stamping that within the outline. I'm then going to go for the second layer. For this one, I'm going to go with the Coral Bliss, and I'm just going to pop that one into place. Now these ones are quite easy to line up, and I just love the look of this flower when it is all stamped up. So once that second layer is in, I'm then going to move on to the third, and I'm going to use the beautiful Heartbeat. I think this one is the closest to the colour that we have in the Inspiration Challenge. But as you can see, just adding a little bit of it there is going to be enough for me to get away with it. Once I have stamped all those, I'm then going to stamp my little leaves. So I'm just going to stamp the outlines for these, just using the Obsidian ink. Now I didn't have an ink that perfectly matched the green in the inspiration photo, so I am going to have a little play. So first off, I'm going to try a little bit of Mountain Mist and the Morning Frost. So I went with the Morning Frost first and then the Mountain Mist, and I think that was pretty close. Now for the second layer, I'm going to go with the Volcano Lake, and that was just a bit too Volcano Lake for my liking. So I'm going to try a little bit something different. So I'm going to go with the Evening Grey, and I'm then going to stamp on top of that with the Volcano Lake, and I think that that works out. So I'm going to stamp these into my little leaves that we have here. So first layer, I'm going to go with that beautiful Morning Frost, which is a really light grey. I'm then going to go with the Mountain Mist. Now I stamped this on and I thought it was a little bit too light. So once I have done all these, I then went a second layer with that Mountain Mist over the top of them. And I then wanted to change the colour a little bit more, so I went in again with the Morning Frost. So you can kind of customise your ink colours just by layering up, because they're semi-transparent, that you are going to see a little bit through. I'm then going to pop on the second layer, and I'm going to go with the Evening Grey for the second layer first. Once I've done that, I'm then going to take the Volcano Lake, and I'm going to stamp that directly on top of there. And I do feel that these colours perfectly match the colours that were in the inspiration photo. So once I have done those, I'm then going to move on to my little butterfly. So this is from the Dream Big stamp set, and I'm going to stamp in first with the Obsidian, and then for the layers I'm just going to go straight in with the Mountain Mist without any grey, and then the Volcano Lake on top of that, again with no grey. So once I have all of my little pieces stamped, I'm then going to die cut them. So I'm just using the coordinating dies that come with both of the stamp sets. So that's the Dream Big stamp set and also the Builder Flower Japanese Mum. So I'm just going to add them, and then I have all of my little die cuts to play with later on. For the sentiment, I'm using the sentiment from the Dream Big stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp that onto some jet black cardstock with some embossing ink, and then I'm going to heat set that using the pure white embossing powder from Altenew. So once I've done that, I did cut that into a strip to use later on. For my background, I wanted to add a little bit of added extra dimension. So I'm adding a little bit of washi tape just to the side, so when I do pop the embossing paste on, it doesn't go over that bit, so that bit's going to be nice and straight. I'm then using the Scribbled Lines stencil, and then just going to push through a little bit of the Altenew embossing paste. Once I've done that, I can remove the stencil and this piece for washi tape that's down the side, and that's going to give me a nice clean edge there. I did then leave this panel to dry. Once it's nice and dry, I can then add this to my card base. So I'm just going to use some Altenew tape glue just to add this on. This is a really great glue and I tend to reach for it all the time. So I'm just going to pop that into place onto the card base. I'm then going to add a little bit of added extra, and I'm just going to use some jet black ink spray just to add a little bit of splatter. Down that nice straight edge that we had with the washi tape, I'm going to add a little bit of pattern paper from the Essentials black and white paper pack. Anything that does hang over the side, I am going to trim from behind. Now this is the flower, and I am going to have this kind of facing downwards so it does look like it's hanging like the flower in the photo. For the leaves, I'm going to add these behind at the top. So again, it's going to give the added effect that it is hanging rather than growing up from the ground. I am using foam tape to add both the flower and the leaves into place. Again, any overhanging things, I'm just going to turn my card over and trim it from behind. My little butterfly here, I didn't quite know where I wanted him, so I am just going to take my sentiment strip just to find out where he wants to live. Once he's happy, I'm going to take the foam tape from behind and then add him into place. For the little sentiment strip, I wanted to add a little bit of added interest, so I'm just going to add a little bit of a snip to the edge before I add this into place. I am using some glue tape to add this, but if you wanted to add a little bit of added more dimension, you could definitely add some foam tape there. So here is the card complete. I really do hope that you liked the card and that you've enjoyed the video as well. Hopefully you can see how I was inspired by the inspiration photo and colours there. I really do hope that you join in with the inspiration challenge because I would love to see how you were inspired by the photo. Hello there, crafty friend, Lydia here. Just popping in to say that you can get your daily dose of crafting tips, techniques and tutorials just like this by subscribing to the Altenew YouTube channel. All you need to do is click on that little bell up there and you will never miss a video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.